available, or it was weirded in a very strange way. And immediately I thought of Dale and someone who I consider a nemesis, someone named Megan, who really played up the skill. I met a lot of people. They started to behave strangely just before 2011, and then everything blew up in 2011. So anyway, but point being, the aforementioned Dale can be good at creating a lot of jealousy. It oppresses women if you're in, a straight world. I'm not sure why people do it. They decide, oh, you don't want to be, you're this kind of person, we're going to push you aside, or they're assigned people who need to be pushed back according to someone else's agenda. I have no clue. I am just like, are you kidding? He's behaving like high school boys from dating years back in the 1980s when you're in high school, Like, that is odd. He was a prosecutor and everything for drug cartels. And you look him up, and sure enough, it says he has a Bradstreet number. He has there's another name for people who have a lawyer's license, an attorney license or what have you. Sure enough, it's on there. So he actually had his license. I guess he was practicing. Anyway. Lots going on here at City Hall. Other than the Broad Street run next weekend, I'm not sure what's going on this weekend. And yes, it's okay to have a nemesis. There are people who try to be super positive, but if you live a real life and long enough, you will come in contact with people who want to tear you down. So, and there, the hope is you can be around people who are always on your side, but if you live at all and participate in anything or what have you, what's going on today? I have to look it up. There we go. I have no idea. I have to look it up. I don't know what's going on today. Grand Concourse. So there's a reason there are books, and there's a reason there's a word nemesis, enemy, and stuff like that. We do not live in a perfect world, and there are people who will always be out there who think a certain way, like, oh, we need to knock you out so I can take your position. I never thought of the world that way. I just thought of it as a rotating, like, people keep needing to evolve, and somehow there's space for everyone, even though clearly, in a big city you can see that the spaces aren't equal at all. Even though some people could probably get into some spaces, they don't know it. There's a festival today. So what's going on today? Let's see. Center City Fit, Matinee Estate, Marketplace. Oh, no. Today, so it's the 26th. Center City Vintage Takeover. I have no clue what it is. Brooklyn Dumpling. So it's like a food. It's almost like a food vendor. I guess they have more than food. So it's just a marketplace today. So that's good to know. Brooklyn Dumpling, Panda, he'll walk around. And they're all setting up. It's interesting, next week there'll be a food truck festival in Jefferson Plaza, which is, Clover, Ludlow, 12th. It's not even on that signage, really. march on by me. Here we'll get to do the tulips. And again, as I mentioned, there's an old quartet, barbershop quartet song, and it's played, I believe, at, you know, Disneyland or Disney World. I saw it on a video, a guy who, fresh baked. I couldn't believe he caught the section of the song that says, she wore a tulip, he wore a rose. And if someone could be a ventriloquist to help singers sing better at certain performances, and you know, these are famous people. If you could have the best speech you ever had at a debate competition, it's possible that someone rose because they could send you smooth as butter talking or singing or similar. It could be other things. It could be even playing football. So he rose because he had the power to help someone else come across a lot better than they normally would have, depending on their situation. That is some people's theory. Alright, so this is Panda Express, Taste of... Oh, right. I did read about this. That's right, I forgot. In my mind, it would be over there. I forgot, I did read about this. So it is the Asian festival. I forget the exact name. I did read about this. In my mind, they're over the other. I don't know why I have them in a different... I always put Dilworth Plaza on the other side. SIPS 21st, Arts Online, SIPS. How about that? So come on over for the Asian Food Festival. It is a specifically Asian food festival. Is that exciting? I totally read this like 4 weeks ago and then forgot. So how fun is that? Right, and this is, I guess, Taste of Korea. A YouTuber just went to South Korea. Obviously you can't really go to North Korea. I guess you could under a very special condition, like, I don't know how that works, but it's like schools or whatever. I would not want to go to North Korea, I'm pretty certain, just in case. But it's definitely South Korea. So I don't know why they have to use a checkerboard tile, but they do, you know, God forbid they just have a solid color rink. So in the winter months they have an ice rink, and in the spring, summer, early fall they have just a regular roller skating rink. So I'll have to get out here when they're open. There will be tulips again. So these, you know, they're starting to kind of fizzle just because they've been out here for a couple weeks, but when they were first blooming, oh my gosh, so they're still pretty, but they were incredibly vibrant and so pretty.